Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bands Across the Water. This is episode number 2. I am your gracious host, Darren Curtis, and I am extremely happy to be here with you guys tonight. Happy Sunday, everyone. This is the show where I am reaching out to bands, artists, musicians, all kinds of different people across the United States and Canada, across North America. Eventually, I might even make it across over the Atlantic. Reach out to some friends over there across the sea. So anyway, welcome to the show. My name is Darren Curtis. I have a really exciting show planned for tonight. If you tuned in last week, I hope you had fun. I had my good friend James Todd from Abandoned Souls on. And it was a great show for the first time. I was really excited how everything worked out. So let's hope all goes well tonight as well. We had some technical difficulties, but I'm not too concerned. It's no big worry. So I'm going to dive right in head first and tell you guys who is on the show tonight. And I'm really excited. So let's get to it, shall we? This evening, I am super excited to have my dear friend Melanie Mercadante from Nopesetic. She will be joining me really shortly. I got a couple of little tidbits of information. She started singing at the age of 4, and I have a really awesome video that she has shared with me that I'm going to share with all of you later, so stick around for that. I think she was either 5 or 6, possibly. We'll ask her. We'll talk to her about it in this video, and and it's really super cute. And I can't wait to show you guys it. So I have lots of good stuff planned with Melanie. So I don't think I'm going to waste a whole lot of time talking about it rather than talking with her about it. So her first EP she did in 2019. It was a 5-song EP, I believe. It was called Sleepy Conscience. I told her I wasn't going to say the name, but I just did. But all good. And then her second one in 2020, a really interesting story about that record as well. And we're going to talk about that too. So I suppose, without any further ado, I'm going to bring my dear friend Melanie on the show. Melanie, welcome to Bands Across the Water.
I'm happy to be here.
Oh, great. Well, hopefully everyone can hear you, and hopefully your video seems to have come up right off the bat. Last week I had a problem with that, so far so good, I think. Let me just see.
The Wi-Fi gods are blessing us tonight.
Right. Oh, I just got a message on Facebook that I have some family that is watching, so that's exciting. I'm excited. Hello, family in Windsor. Yay. This is Melanie from Nopesetic, you guys. Say hello, everyone. So thank you for being here, Melanie. This is really exciting. I'm glad to have you here. We have a lot of interesting and fun things to talk about, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I know. I'm excited. Me too. And if, we'll see, if the technology gods allow, we may even have you play live right here on the show. Maybe.
Yeah,
we'll see. We're waiting to see if anything happens like with the technology first. But so far, so good, huh?
Yes.
Well, good. So you started singing at 4 years old. I was telling them as we were coming into the show. Hello, Lance. How are you doing? Hi, Trish. How you guys over in Twitch land? Got to make sure we say hello to everyone.
Wow. So, hey, I love the
right?
all hearts.
Yeah. So, you were 4 years old when you sort of started singing. Why don't you kind of tell me a little bit more of how that came to be and what kind of got you interested in music and singing and all that stuff?
Well, of course, like that when I was born in 98, so like that was around the time of like the Britney Spearses and Christina Aguilera's of the pop world. So my sister just always had those CDs, and
Sure.
She was in dance. So like we would always be outside, like we live on the water. So I'd be like outside on the dock, dancing, doing whatever. And I just always like would like to sing. And then I saw, back when video stores were still a thing, we rented, I think the movie came out in 2001, so it had to be around that time. I had to be like 3 or 4 at the time when I watched it. But the movie Josie and the Pussycats with
yes.
Rachel Lee Cook. Yeah. Oh
that
my
was
God,
your jam, huh?
Crazy. Yes, it was so good. And I had the CD for the soundtrack, which is incredible. And I just always used to like steal my brother's guitar and try and play the songs, even though I had no idea how to
Right.
play a guitar, really how to do anything. I just like pretend, pretend to be rock star, try and get anybody that would listen to listen to me.
I understand. I can relate. Well, I'll tell you what. On that note, I'm going to play a clip from Josie and the Pussycats right now. All right.
Yes.
For every band, there is a moment when they know they have made it. For one band, this is not that moment.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. You're a great crowd.
Okay, girls, we need the lane now. And your shoes.
They were three small-town girls with big-time dreams
Who's a rock star? I am.
who wanted to share their music with the world.
We can't sit around here waiting for it to happen. We are musicians. We should be out there playing music. We do play.
Nobody believed in them,
You know, you suck.
but they believed in themselves.
We're special.
Yeah, special ed.
Now, in a world of tough competition,
And that is so sad.
fate is giving the Pussycats the chance of a lifetime.
We'd love for you to sign with Mega Records.
How am I gonna pull this off? I'm a girl from Riverdale. I'm not a rock star.
You gotta believe in yourself.
Things are finally going their way. But between the mania,
Is that Josie?
They're gonna be huge.
the managers,
We decide everything. What's hot and what's not.
Welcome to your party.
Who else thinks that Fiona's a freak?
and the media,
We're gonna be on TRL.
this may be the toughest gig they've ever played.
Have you noticed that everything has sort of become all about Josie?
Josie.
Josie.
Josie. Spin around. I made you a rock star. Tell me you don't love that. Forget it.
You know, I never liked you.
No matter what happens, we will always be friends first.
Were you gonna kill me with the guitar?
You messed with the wrong pussycat.
My bad.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Aha! I can see why you would like that movie, huh? That's probably
Yes.
like right. What was that? 98? You said?
No, I was born in 98. I think
Oh.
that came out in 2001.
Oh, so yeah, you were like 3-4 years
Like,
old, something like
yeah,
that.
basically.
Wow.
Yeah, around
Jen-
the same time.
Jen says she needs to see that movie, and Trish says that she loves that movie. So
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
It's killer. And the funny thing about that is, like, when I was younger, I didn't really understand, because in that movie there's a lot of commentary on like capitalism and like overconsumption and like conspiracies kind of within like the music industry. So
Sure.
watching that when I was older, it was just way better because I was like, holy crap, I didn't notice any of this stuff
you know what?
happened.
What's funny about that? I feel the same way when I watch Bugs Bunny cartoons. I watch a Bugs Bunny
I can see
cartoon
you.
now, and I laugh at things that I never would have understood as a kid, and that's a fact. So I can totally understand. I have not seen that movie, but I would definitely like to. More so, I think now, because knowing your interest in it and how it affected and influenced you, that would make it even more interesting to me. So, you know, I can.
sure.
It looks like a great movie. I can't believe that was. Seth something was in the boy band. I see. That was
Ooh,
right.
Seth Green.
Yes, Seth Green.
from the band, yeah.
I saw that. And I was like,
He's
oh my
hilarious.
god. Right. Well, he's hilarious too. So it does look like a really good movie. So, all right. Well, I think based on that note, should I show them the clip that you sent me
Definitely.
today? It's kind of like
Definitely.
timely right now, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me see. Let me make sure I get the right one. I snuck it in between video 1 and video 2, and I called it, cleverly enough, video 1.5. So
Ooh.
I'm very efficient. Okay, so tell me what this is. I will just premise it by saying this is like the darndest, cutest thing I think I've seen in a long time. So you tell us. I know it's your mom is taking a video. Who shout out to Cynthia, by the way. Talk about like the ultimate
Shout out.
supporter right there. Wow.
Literally number
Yeah.
one fan.
Right, number one
Um,
fan. So that's
So
awesome.
she like literally videotaped our entire childhood. I have a sister and a brother, and we just have boatloads of tapes. So there's a lot of proof that I loved this movie. So the clip that's about to play is, I think I'm like 5 or 6 at the time, and my sister was watching TV in the other room, and if you like actually watch the whole video, like you can tell she's so annoyed that my mom's just videotaping me. But I was singing Josie and the Pussycats on my brother's guitar, not really knowing how to play it.
It is so cute, and it's like at some point it's a little bit kind of hard to understand what you're saying in the beginning because you're kind of singing and you're 5, so it's a little bit difficult to understand. But even better is you get to the end and you say something to the effect of, this is a song I wrote about Josie and the Pussycats, or this is a Josie and the Pussycats song that I wrote. I think that's what you say. And the part for me that really got me like thinking how awesome that was like, here's a 5-year-old kid, and I can totally relate to this. And more so for me, for one, I didn't have a mom with, you know, a video camera in my face all the time. It was just different times at that time for me growing up. You know, if she had a video camera in your face, the thing weighed about 40 pounds, and there's no way she was lugging that thing around.
One of the huge ones.
But for me, I was more into lyrics, and I would write poems all the time as a kid. I played everything. If there was a musical instrument, I was picking it up. If it wasn't a musical instrument, I turned it into one. You know, if it was the stove, I was banging on it. If it was mom's wooden spoons, I was smashing something with them. You know, but I was really big into writing poems, and you know, I had a couple of my poems like published in local newspapers, and you know, cute little things like that. You know, but that for me was sort of the same idea. Was the start, of course. Recording of that wouldn't really be such a big deal, but this video, oh my gosh, your mom is there, and you can hear her at the end of it. It's just really cute. I love it. So I'm going to play it now, and I'm not going to make any noise at all, so you can hear it right from the beginning. And I may even play it again because it's that adorable. So it's really short. So you guys pay attention, listen up, check out. Here's Melanie was 5 years old writing a song about Josie and the Pussycats. Melanie's first original song.
Yay! This is the Josie and the Pussycats song that I wrote. You wrote? Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
That is adorable. I think it's the cutest little thing. I just heard you say strawberry shortcake.
Yeah.
I can hear you when we go to a different scene. I can still hear our communication. So I'm going to play that one more time because it's just so darn cute. And I love at the end where you say about how you wrote a song, Josie and the Pussycats song that you wrote. So I'm going to play it one more time so you guys can hear it. This is Mel at 5 years old, super cute. And I love Mom. Mom counts you in. She's like, and a 1, 2, and you start counting, and away you go. And even the little twangy noises of the guitar, which are, you know, super twangy, and you have I love it. It's so cute. It's adorable.
Yay! This is the Josie and the Pussycats song that I wrote. You wrote? Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
I'm telling you, that is so adorable, and it's awesome, and it's a testament to the fact that, you know, ever since you were a little kid, that music has been part of your life, and even the fact that you wrote a song about Josie and the Pussycats, you know, that's the artistry, the art side of you that I don't think has ever gone away. You've had that as long as you've been alive. So, and it shows, and it shows in your art. You know,
my DNA. I think about it, and it's like us as children. As a child, you're in the purest form that you are, because you're not really corrupted by anything else yet. So
100%.
To see that I was super into music, and then that I was trying to write my own music is kind of crazy to me. Like, I always try and reference that time in life when I'm writing now, because I feel like it was so pure. Absolutely. Like, I remember my first, we had a computer upstairs, and my mom had this program called Printmaster, which was like you could just make pictures on it, whatever. It was super old school. And I remember writing my first song on Printmaster.
Nice.
And it was called Love. And it went, "Hey, can you see that shooting star? It means love."
Aww. That was your line.
I can like still envision like what it sounds like in my head. And there are a lot of songs that I kind of wrote like that at that age that were just random, but you can totally tell that I listened to a lot of Ashley Simpson. I listened to a lot of Britney Spears. I listened to a lot of JoJo.
Good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Like to have you remember the first lyrics that you ever wrote. I don't remember the first poem I ever wrote or anything like that. I know I still have them out there somewhere. Jen and Aaron both say that they had Printmaster too when they were younger. And I noticed over on Facebook, my friend Matty P, he had commented about On My Dinner. And I don't know if you saw that comment go by on Facebook, but what he's referring to is the fact that not only would I play on Mom's wooden spoons in the stove, and I would grab my fork and spoon and I would mash some potatoes.
Yeah, mash some potatoes.
I'd be jamming on the peanut butter. That was bad. Wait, hold on. I have a laugh track. If I get a laugh in there, I should make sure that I get the audience to laugh, if I get the opportunity.
Our trusty audience out there, thank you for thinking we're funny.
Right. Even though it's an artificial laugh, it still makes me feel really good. So, well, that's great. I love that. I love hearing the stories about how, you started. I have some really sort of chronological things that we have set up for the show ahead of time that I kind of want to talk about. And I don't know if people have noticed over in the chat on Twitch, I put up a link. It's your Linktree account, your Linktree page, I guess it would be. Yes. And that's to all of your music on socials, correct? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
I think it's specifically to the second record.
I thought I saw everything when I clicked on it, but maybe not. Maybe not. It might not be. I thought it was, maybe someone can tell us in the chat if that link takes them to a specific record or if it takes them to sort of your entire catalog, I guess, right? Which would be the two albums.
Yeah.
I think that's what I saw was both. I'm not sure, but I think so. So I guess that might be a good time for us to sort of talk about that. I think we should kind of move up, way up, right?
Oh, yes.
Because I think there's this long span that every artist, musician. So Aaron says it's just the second album. Okay, well that's cool. At least it's a a way of getting.
Yeah, it's a reference.
Right.
If you like that, you can find the other one.
For sure. And you are on Instagram, and I can actually in a minute here I'll get over to a scene that gives all your socials on Instagram. And I guess maybe before we do that, let's kind of flash forward a long way. Because I think probably the years from 5 and 6 to when you actually kind of were getting ready to do your first album, those years in between, those are kind of, the growing years, the learning years, the writing.
I feel like how I fell upon music was very odd. Like when I was young, I was really in love with it. And then when I got to middle school, I was super awkward and super shy about it. So I never really sang. I never really did anything having to do with music, especially not in front of people because I was just way too shy.
Right.
And then high school, I kind of forced myself. I was like, Melanie, if you're into this, you really should be able to, express yourself musically. So I got a guitar. I taught myself how to play by just learning covers on YouTube. And then I started writing, and as I was writing more and more, my songs were more folky and songwriter-y before, and then I started to go more into the realm of R&B and getting more into that. So when it came time to where I went into the studio and I was ready to make my first record, I had already written 35 songs. And I was like, okay, well, I have to narrow this down and choose what I think are the best songs.
Sure. That's a great problem to have, though, know.
But it was just I had to find 6 ones that not only I felt comfortable releasing and recording, but that kind of went together.
Yeah. But with a big palette of songs like that, it's kind of, it's easier to choose that way, in my opinion. You have a lot of variety, a lot of choices, and you can hone in your specifics,
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
And I have the problem where like I'll like all the high school songs that I wrote, I necessarily don't feel like I relate to them. So the fact that I didn't record them in that time period of my life is weird now revisiting them.
100%.
So like my mom would be like, "Oh, like why don't you record this song?" And I'm like, I don't feel that one anymore. I don't know. So it's kind of like maybe it will come full circle to I'll have a point in my life where I relate to it again, where that's when I'm going to release it.
I mean, you might or you might not, right? Because the way I kind of look at music, it's, you know, when you think about music over the years even, it's kind of like a sort of a diary. You know, I can think of a song that takes me back to a time when I was in high school, and it's like, you know, I don't necessarily want to go back and relive those days, but I certainly enjoy getting in my head and thinking about those times when I hear a specific song, you know. And even as an original artist, you know, I can listen to some of those songs that we wrote as in my bands in the past and recorded in the past, and thank goodness we captured them when we did, you know. But it's some of the lyrics and some of the music still could be timely to some degree. We wrote songs about you know, some riots that were happening in LA at the time, and you know, those could be certainly, you know, be brought into today's world. But the reality of it for me anyway is that those are sort of like moments that you capture. Whether it's an emotion or it's something that's happening in your life or it's something that's going on and around you, you know, and you don't, you know, you're going to have more of those if you keep writing, and, you know, you don't necessarily need to go back. You just kind of want to keep moving forward, but that's not to say it couldn't happen either. You know, you couldn't relate to it later. So, that's great. So I think maybe at this time we should kind of dive into where you went with this after you had 35 songs and you honed them down to 5 or 6, I guess, and
yes, because
you know,
we had 5 released online, and then the bonus track, which you actually did the percussion to.
I did, and I went. You know, it's funny because I went looking for it. Shout out to DC Drums for the percussion track on Melt. I actually went looking for it online, but I couldn't find it because I actually wanted to kind of play that song as in the background, but I couldn't find it that I could scoop it and throw it into my show. So yeah, that's a bonus track on the second album, isn't it? Yeah.
It's supposed to be incentive.
Right.
So like, hey, if you buy a physical copy, you're gonna get an extra song. You feel me? But
and then if you click on the link in my chat and you buy that CD, you're gonna get the one with me on it. Oh, yeah. Word.
I don't know what this is.
I'm not sure. It looks cool on camera though. So as long as it looks cool on camera. Hold on, laugh track. That gives me a second to have a sip of wine too. Cheers, streamers, take a drink, y'all. Cheers.
Hydrating.
Ding. Well, good. So, all right. So you got down to having 6-ish songs chose. Did you have them like, would you say, sort of rough demoed and ready to go when you went to the studio, or were you more of a, you know, it was kind of like let's fly by the seat of our pants and not be prepared and just see what happens?
The whole like going in and not being prepared thing gives me so much anxiety. It's not even funny. Just because I'm the type of person that needs to at least have a direction with my music, because there is a slight chance that if I go in and don't know what's going to happen, I'm not going to like it.
Sure.
And that just scares me. So I'm just like, okay. I'm the type of person that needs to demo it out. So the funny thing is about Stay and Melt is Stay was the first one I recorded, and I think with the demos that I sent Kevin, it was literally just me playing acoustic guitar, and then I sent him like songs that kind of sounded like what I wanted. So for Stay, I sent him the No Doubt song, Underneath It All,
because it kind of has a reggae vibe to it, right?
Yeah, and then for Melt, I sent, I think, a City in Color song, Northern Wind.
Dallas
Green. And it had, like, really cool strings in it.
I believe so Dallas Green, is Dallas Green not from Canada, I believe?
I think he is,
I think so, too, yeah. Just for whatever reason I say that. I digress.
No, I love City in Color. That was actually one of the first couple of covers that I learned on guitar.
Nice, yeah, very cool.
Because his guitar is just so fascinating. He can make it so intricate but simple at the same time.
Right, yeah, absolutely. And that's something to be said about that. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like the flashiest parts or the most amazing speed. Sometimes feel is everything, you know. So
Yeah.
I want to send a shout out to Dad's Mad, who's watching on Twitch. That would be Kevin. Who you
Kevin.
just brought him up. So let's make sure we send a shout out to Kevin over there watching. And actually, I'm going to put Barb's skills to the test. I told her to send out a shout out every once in a while, make sure she has a handle on it. So I'll see if she shouts out Kevin. See if she gets a handle on it. But yeah, so
the rest of the songs I actually like made demos. I taught myself how to use GarageBand, which I'm sure if I go back and listen to the demos now, since I've been using it for a while, I'd be like, wow, this is really not that great.
Right, sure.
I just tried to build the songs in a way where whoever was playing the instruments could get a certain idea of what I was going for.
Right, yeah, that's great. No, and I think there's a lot to be said about going in feeling prepared, because you know, maybe a long time ago, if you were a gigungus rock star, you know, studio time was bought and paid for by somebody else, and it was a record label, and you know, you would go in and you could, I mean, I'm not talking from experience by any means, but you could go in and you could you know, literally work on the album and write the songs and just whatever. It was $1 million budget to record an album, and you know, but at this
kind of experiment more too.
Yeah, right. And at this level, you know, it makes a lot of sense to be prepared, and especially from that side of things, to save some money in the studio, of course. Who wouldn't want to do that? But secondly, I think, you know, more importantly is, and you kind of nailed it, is that you kind of want to make sure that you get what you want out of the song at the end, because you already have this idea of what it sort of sounds like. Even though you might not be the drummer, or you might not be the this or the that, you kind of know what you sort of want it to sound like in your head, and to come in with that prepared gives all the other artists or musicians that are performing on there a whole better idea of what to.
Oh, for sure. And that's why I also have like such a deep appreciation and admiration for Kevin, is because he could listen to me play these songs live or me send in these demos and know exactly who would be a perfect fit to play it on the recording. So it was like the way that it happened, it was just like, he's like, oh, I know this dude, he could play drums. I know Josh could play bass. It would be great. So we would sit down, and it was like, they literally listened to the demos over a couple of days, came in and put something down. And I was never like, wow, I don't like that. It always ended up being incredible, and I always was just blown away that it could happen like that. And it was just such a high to be in the studio and just watch it happen, because I'm the type of musician that I need to like do things over and over again. Like I can't get things right away just because I'm not at the skill level of that. So seeing musicians that literally it's their life to do that, and they can just pick up on things so easily, it's crazy to watch. It's like magic.
Right, and you get to that gets to be an enhancement in your music too, because you sort of get a perspective that you may not have thought of before. Or say in my case as a drummer, I'm going to have, you know, I mean, I've spent my, you know, entire life around this instrument, and my perspective of it when it comes to writing, I have this unlimited palette of color that I can do just about anything I want with. And so for me to be able to take that and put it to your music, you know, I'm going to add something, at least I hope, anyway, I'm going to add something to your music that makes you go, wow, I never really sort of heard it or saw it that way, but holy shit, I like it a lot, you know. That's kind of what you want, right? So, yeah, and I remember at the time, you recorded this in 2019. No, you're probably recording in 2018, I think.
No, we were recording summer of 2019. It was right before the show.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like the release show.
Gotcha. And that was on August 8th of 2019, the release show, correct? Right. So,
yes.
Yeah. So I remember at the time, for me, circumstances were a lot different for me in my life, and things were going on. And I remember actually Kevin talking to me about doing the album and recording with you, but the way that things were happening, and I lived pretty far away from the studio, and it just, like, as much as I wish I could have been the guy on that album, it's turned out fantastic, and you are obviously super happy and super proud. And at the end of the day, that's the main thing. And I still got to be on the bonus track.
Yeah, I'd say you got a little taste.
So that's great. And that was a fun one for me because that was the first time that I actually played a cajon on a track. So that's not even a drum. That's not even drums. That's like I'm playing a cajon on that track. Then it was a recording.
So you play acoustic?
Yeah, when we do the acoustic shows. Okay. Yep, that was that instrument. Yep. So it was cool to to get to do that, and then of course to be on it with you, and Elsie Binks was your backup band at the release party, and that was awesome.
That show was awesome.
It was so good. I got to play all those songs anyway at your first big show, with the release of it. So it was really special.
What's crazy about live performances like that is, like, in my experience, anytime I've tried to perform live, it's been somewhat difficult, especially to start, just like going up and convincing myself that it's okay. Like, you're a person, like, people are watching you, but like, it's okay.
Sure.
So going up there, I was so nervous, but then when I got up there, it was like nothing. I was like comfortable, and after it was over, it kind of felt like that wasn't me up there, because I was like, I wasn't awkward, I wasn't stammering like I usually am, I wasn't nervous. It was like I kind of came alive a little bit, and I was like, that's awesome to see that is the direction that it's heading.
Right.
Because sometimes when you go up there and like you're nervous, like there were some Moose McGregors where I would go up there and I'd be all shaky and stuff, and it's like you get off and it's just like I would get down on myself, because it's like, oh, like, why am I being nervous? I shouldn't be nervous. But to have a show like that where it's just electricity, it was just
It was,
like, wow.
That whole night was really awesome. Kevin mentioned on Twitch about having Andrew on sax. We covered with you. We covered Pink Floyd's song Money. And Andrew came out on the sax, and that was a great moment. He started way in the back of Diesel in the big sax solo, and he cut through the crowd while he was playing the solo and came up on stage. And, we only ran through that song once, I think, prior to that in rehearsal with him. And it turned out really good, and it's on video. If you go find Jimmy Jams, maybe Jimmy Jams, I see you're there, brother. Maybe you can throw your link up to your website or to maybe your YouTube channel or whatever you prefer, all the above, and share those videos. There's a Pink Floyd Nopesetic cover with Andrew on sax that Jimmy Jams captured for us that night. So that was an amazing, amazing time. James Todd from last week is watching on Facebook right now, and
James.
He's commenting about, see what the trend is. Cheers, James Todd, my good friend. He says, I see the trend has become wine with the second episode, so whatever I have to do to get through. No, actually, it's a delicious glass of wine I'm enjoying. So, well, on that note, I kind of want to dive in a little bit to this record. I want to kind of... You made a really interesting, awesome, super adorable video about the making of Sleepy Conscience, right?
Yes.
Let me get down to this.
Thankfully, I recorded the whole process.
Right, which again comes back to me going, yeah, I didn't really I think I might have had a camcorder video one time. No, but anyway, I really want to share this with everyone. I think it's so good. It turned out really good. Oh, Ray from Age of Wolves. He's got the trend down. He's figuring it out. Anyway, so why don't you kind of tell us what this is all about? I'm going to cue it up, and I want everybody to stay and watch this video because it's awesome. And then when it's over, we're going to come back and we're going to keep talking, and we're going to get into some of the music. And then we're going to get into what your next record was, and we're going to play some of that music. There's Jimmy Jams. He's got his YouTube link up there. Thanks, Jimmy. So there's still lots more to come. We've got lots of exciting stuff to talk about, lots of music to share, more videos, all kinds of neat, cool stuff. So why don't you tell us?
This is the process of me writing it. So it starts in 2018. I think I always knew that I wanted, because I bought this Avril Lavigne album in 2007, which was like a double disc of her Best Damn Thing, where the second disc was like a DVD and it showed the making of.
Right.
So I've always just wanted to do one of those where it's just like the entire process of writing and recording this record. So I knew straight away that I wanted to do that. So thankfully I started recording really early on, like when I was writing some of the songs and like putting them together. So this was just the journey from like basically the idea of the album to it coming to fruition and us ending it, and basically my reflection on the experience.
There's even a moment with you and your mom in Moose McGregor's parking lot.
Yes, there is.
And that's probably before one of the Elsie Binks shows, I'm guessing.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, let's get to it. This is Making of Sleepy Conscience.
Here's some car thoughts. I was, I'm gonna try to like reflect on this experience as much as possible, just kind of share my thoughts. I've been working on this album, loosely you could say my entire life. I found one of my old tapes and I'm about to listen to it.
Just gonna sing a few songs. Okay. Animal crackers in my
What the why would I sing this song? You also could say I've been working on it since the beginning of last summer, because it's the first one, so it's gotta be like, this is like my first impression in the world. You're so close to my face.
All right, Mel. We're here again, right?
Moose McGregor's. And I've got big plans for this year.
Like what?
I want to record an EP, which I'm
Goal
really
of 2018.
It is the goal of 2018, so let's hope that I can...
Hey, what's going on over there?
I'm interviewing! Yeah, ask me some other questions.
No.
What the Will you be my mirror? So, we are in my dungeon, aka my closet. This is where my demos will be done. Straight out of the closet. I get home. I get home. I don't have that great of light, but I have finished the instrumentals to get lost. I'm gonna sing it for you. How do I feel? What just happened? Just depends how the day goes that you never made them good. I'm glad I got that video because that was weird. Some aliens are with my eyes. It seems we're in Battle Creek, Michigan. I zoomed in really close on your face. And I'm glad I wore a sweater so you can't see my pit stains.
I think we have to compare. Melanie. Oh yeah.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad. I am recording right now the vocals. I have my tea, which is a mixture of normal tea and lemon ignatia, which is like throat coat, quote unquote. And I have my pretzels too. I've literally been singing this song for 4 days. I have not been able to get the vocals right, so let's just pray to the universe that this works. It will after a couple pretzels. From your window, make sure I get home. You be my mirror. I think it could help me see clear. Watch me from your window. Make sure I get home.
Kevin Williams. This is Melanie Mercadante. We're going to be performing some wedding songs for you this evening. Mel, go ahead and give me a beat. Are you filming this?
Yeah.
Are you nuts?
I don't think I put the batteries in right.
Isn't there like a diagram on it?
How many idiots does it take?
Just one.
Oh, there we go!
Sweet. Hey, yeah. I want to tell you a story. Right here.
Make sure I get home.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We're ready.
All right.
Yep.
Here we go.
Through a new set of eyes, you be my mirror. I think could ever see clearer. Watch me from your window.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, all your songs are good.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
We're all just saying.
They're the best way to know.
No, you're supposed to do the dance move with it.
Oh, I don't even remember what I did. Do you remember?
I don't know.
Because I don't.
Yang, yang.
I'm really glad I'm in touch with my feminine side so I can actually be in this room.
This is going to be really sweet, too.
This whole record is going to be dope.
Gotta make some cool art for it now.
It's going to be a good track, too, man. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. You brought that to life.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a little,
yeah.
just the little flavors. Just some tasties.
Some tasties.
Some tasties, bro. You got some tasties?
Ultraviolet.
That's dope.
Make sure I get home.
Woo! That's good.
Tasty.
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 Very tasty.
Very tasty.
Yes. Yes. Are you learning?
I'm learning, of course.
Are you making great art and learning?
Yeah, of course. I can't write.
You're getting there, kid. Maybe you need to take
Keep
10 years
practicing.
of
No.
theory.
Theory. No. Open up your eyes. Tell me what you see. I have one thing.
Yeah.
Okay. At the when it starts drumming and it's like da da, like the last drum, it's like da 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 da. I'm just gonna come in there.
Yeah, please do.
I won't stay here forever.
Yeah, it's just like a little thing.
Yeah, just a little dynamic.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that was fast.
Visions of wisdom say you live another day, so why would I let you get in my way? Sometimes I hear you knocking on my front door. We are recording this song, Melt. It only has 2 chords in it. The whole song.
But that's okay. You build on something, right?
Yeah, of course.
And that's what you're doing. You're building on
guitar
it.
parts were simple.
Mm-hmm. Did you like your...
channel Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, this was the real reggae, like, I think you got the ands on the hi-hat and everything going on this one, too. Maybe.
One more you shall have.
I'm taking my glasses off.
Hey Mal Bell, what you doing?
You should turn it the other way. Yeah.
Oh,
We're ordering CDs right now. It's submitting. It's taking forever.
What we calling it, Mel?
Sleepy Conscience.
Sleepy Conscience. Okay, kid.
Okay. It's like a Christmas present.
300, I think, right?
Looks so good. Here it is. Here's my CD. I drew the cover.
We gotta open one up and listen.
Put it in.
Make sure.
Look! All rights reserved. Unauthorized duplication is a violation. I say one in here and I get a warning label.
That's the next question.
I did this. Turn it sideways, please. We listened to it on a thing that didn't have both speakers, and I didn't realize that my guitar was on the left. So we listened to it and there wasn't any guitar, so I kind of panicked. I fell straight out of the sky. Like here's supposed to be me playing guitar. What do I do now? And I called Kevin, and then we both had a moment of panic. He's like, I don't even understand how that is possible. It wasn't. It was just, you know, not playing because I didn't have a speaker.
All right.
So up. It turned out really good. I'm really happy with it.
Okay.
I just feel bad that I called Kevin and stressed him. Kevin, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry.
Hi, Mel.
Hi.
What's today's date?
It is August 8th, 2019.
What the is going on tonight?
Record release show.
How does that make you feel?
Great. I mean, little Melanie is like jumping around, going ape shit.
What are we doing to prep you for this day? Where are we at right now?
I don't know if this is necessarily the best place for me to be right now because I don't want to have mud butt, but it's fine.
It's worth it.
It's totally not worth it.
It is worth it.
Okay, it's worth it.
Finish the 3 short and 2 long tubes.
Okay, so if you're wondering what's going on right now, we hit something and our tire is flat. We are on the US-Canadian border, almost home, literally almost home. There's the bridge over here. Alex is reading the manual and trying to figure it out. So what better way to end the video right now? So to summarize, little me, love to sing. So I spent years perfecting my craft, singing in my bedroom, playing my high school talent show. Then I met Kevin in 2016, started playing random gigs in bars, recorded my first song, then the second, then spent the next year and a half writing the rest of this record, deciding what to call myself, piecing the puzzle together, recording what you know now as Sleepy Conscience. And now I'm here in this Canadian parking lot with a flat tire. My piece of advice, first and foremost, is know how to change a f***ing tire. Secondly, to anybody trying to achieve their dreams, know that nothing worth having comes easy. Everyone is on their own timeline. You may take a little longer to cook in the oven than some others, but every step you take is a step closer. So keep moving forward. When there's an obstacle, hurdle that bitch. And most importantly, believe in yourself. Believe in your vision. Believe that you deserve good things. And learn to change a tire. You got a lot of nerve letting this go. And you think I'm the problem, but can't you see that baby all my homies are down?
you. Whatever you put in will come back to you.
The making of Sleepy Conscience. I'm here with Melanie Mercadante from Nopesetic. Okay, Mel, that is like so awesome. You must be really happy to have all of that captured and recorded that way.
I am, and I'm really happy that I can still watch that and not cringe at it.
I would think that you're never going to cringe at that video. I think for the rest of your life, you're going to look back at that, and it's going to be an awesome little time capsule of an amazing time in your life, I'm sure.
I think so too. Yeah. Even now, I get all nostalgic. Like, watch it back, and I'm like, wow, we really did that. That was
right,
cool.
Right. And it's so good. The whole record is great. I think there's some funny parts in there. Like, for example, when I think back to what you said about your sister when you were 5, she's like in the other room rolling her eyes like, really? Like, can she just stop already? And then flash forward to 2019, and where's your sister? She's next to you, ordering CDs online, and she's like right there, ready, you know. She's right there. I love it. So, and
she's still got the look of judgment. She like, when I say the name of it, she like just glares at the camera. It's great.
It is great because it's like your mom's all like cute to you. She's like, so Melanie, what are you working on over there, sweetheart? And you can just see your sister's like, really, Mom? Like, can you? It's been
at that point the artwork was uploading for like an hour. So she's like, so what are you doing? And I was like, really? Trying to upload this artwork right now.
And your sister's like, really? Do I have to talk about this again? It's been only, 20 years we've been talking about this?
Yeah.
Really, it's really good. I love it. There's so many good little moments in that video. You know, I love that I get to hear Melt before I actually got to put my part on it in there. Mm-hmm. I love that you blew a tire and you're stuck in a Canadian parking lot. I love that.
Also, just like watching the interactions in the studio too. Like, I feel like whenever I work with Kevin, we just have like some type of like chemistry that when we work together, like we just get each other. And it's so cool. Like, even when we were recording Babysitter, which I'm sure we'll talk about later.
Yes, we will. I'm excited to talk about that.
Part where he was just like, I feel like we should try and do this. And I was like, you're right. We should do that. And he just like knows.
It's true. It's very true. And you know, with myself being working more and more with Kevin in the studio and more with different artists like yourself in the studio, I've been really busy and doing a lot of stuff like that with different people. And we've become a really good team. And I think he would probably feel the same way that, you know, I think I like being in there with him as much as he likes having me around. You know, and it reflects in a lot of what kind of gets accomplished at the end of the day. You know, it's sort of exciting to see where those two minds can sort of steer something or help influence something for the better. Of course, is what we hope. But so what I want to do right now is play a song from that record before we kind of move into a couple of other things. I'm not going to play Melt, although I was looking for it. I wanted to, but. We're actually going to play Get Lost, which is another awesome song. So Kevin is saying absolutely. I love you, Mel, he says in the chat over there. I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Barb says the video's awesome. I agree. It is an awesome video. So I'm going to play Get Lost from Sleepy Conscience, and here it is.
Of an earthquake falling behind. Losing my mind on my birthday. You never made it good. Never done me like a boyfriend should. And I'm sure there's nothing more to report. There is no true vacation from the mind. The universe seems to have realigned. I can pick you out of the crowd or let you get lost in it. So get lost in it. I'm not thinking straight, or like the tops of tornadoes. How do I feel? depends how the day goes. And you've never made them good. Never tell me like a boyfriend should. And I'm sure there's nothing more to look for. There is no true vacation from the mind. The universe seems to have realigned. I can pick you out of the crowd or let you get lost in it. So get lost in it. You never made it good. Never tell me like a boyfriend should. You never made them good. Never love me like a boyfriend should. And I'm sure there's nothing more to record. There is no true vacation from the mind. The universe seems to have realigned. I can pick you out of the crowd or let you get lost in it. So get lost in it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Bands Across the Water. I'm speaking with Melanie Mercadante from Nopesetic. That song was called Get Lost from her first EP in 2019 entitled, I always get this messed up, Sleepy Conscience. I want to say Sleeping Conscience for some reason. I know it's not what it is. Sleepy Conscience. So at this time, I want to introduce you guys to who I will have on the show next week with me. My good friend Ray, he has been in the chat over there on Facebook. If you've seen him, Ray Solomon, his band will be on next week called Age of Wolves.
No reason to speak. This is no lie. For what you had lived, but now you die.
All right, next week I will have Ray Solomon from Age of Wolves on the show with me. Be sure to tune in Sunday at 7. And in the meantime, let's get back to my guest tonight, Melanie Mercadante from Nopesetic. Melanie, welcome back to the show.
Hello.
What a great song, Get Lost, on a great album.
Thank you.
Super
I just
fun.
wanted to say, like, a side note.
Yes.
What I noticed about being a songwriter in particular is that sometimes, like, my messaging in my songs are doing exactly what I want them to. So, for example, with that song, so many of my friends have, like, said that that is their favorite song because they can, like, relate to it. And that song I wrote about a boyfriend who literally I dated for like 4 years, and every year on my birthday was just terrible because my boyfriend like wasn't a good boyfriend on my birthday. And like there's so many people who have like said like I really like that song, like it's very empowering, and I'm like that's what it's supposed to do. So like great. I'm glad that it's like doing its job.
Yeah, one of the best things I think as a person who creates art, whether it's music or whether it's a painting or you know, it could be a million different things. You and I had a little bit of a conversation about this. We talked about like mom cooking dinner to, you know, all sorts of other things can be considered art, you know, whether it's gardening, someone, you know, doing a beautiful garden, whatever it is, you know, it's always, and this is the neat part, is it's always open for interpretation. You know, and sometimes people take it for what you kind of mean it. And then other times people take it in a whole other direction and you're going, wow, I never even really thought of it that way. And
yeah,
so, you
exactly.
know, it's not that you're being misunderstood. It's just it applies differently to different people sometimes. And and that's kind of another one of the beautiful things about art is that it's subjective. and people
It
are
is.
sort of open to their own interpretation. Once you put it out to the world, who knows how it's going to be interpreted, so.
Right? Like a lot of people, Cinnamon Sugar on that record, a lot of people have come up to me and been like, is that song about cocaine? And I was like, no, definitely not. But
That
I
song
can see
didn't-
where you thought that.
Right, and that didn't even cross my mind until this moment. So what does that tell you, right? So right, so that's great. Okay, well, let's move on past now. Sleepy Conscience, right? Now
Yes.
we've got a 5-song EP you did in 2019. It's available all over the place, and it comes with an extremely awesome Cajon song on there called Melt. Amazing.
Yes.
The guy who played the Cajon was just awesome.
Incredible.
And that's just a
Blew
bonus
it out
track.
of the water.
That's just a bonus track on the physical record, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
And if you would like a physical record, I still have them available. So just
How do we get 'em? Tell us
feel
how we
free
get
to
'em.
message me on Facebook, Instagram, and just inquire me that way, and I can get that set for you.
Awesome. That's good. That's great to hear, because I'm sure that hopefully you will get some people looking to try to get the physical copy, if not because the music is awesome, because they want to hear the awesome Cajon.
Yes, of course.
Just go. Wait, laugh track. I'm behind on my laugh track. I keep forgetting. I even have like a little thing. If I tell a joke, I can do a little, but I keep forgetting. Anyway, look at Barb is saying she wants one. So there you go.
Barb.
She's gonna reach out to you, and
Yes.
she will be
I
your
got
first.
you, girl.
Good. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to start talking now about 2020 and Melanie Mercadante in 2020. So, we got Sleepy Conscience all done. We've got a great
Yes.
record out there. And
Yes.
here comes along 2020, and how's life treating you at this point?
Well, at this point, I was in my second semester of college, in my senior year. So, like, I was at the finish line, like, so ready to be done, so over everything. I didn't really have that great of a time in college, but I guess, like, that happens to a lot of people. College really isn't that, I don't know, especially art school, because, the typical college experience is like going out, partying, going to football games, going to tailgates. And at art school, that really doesn't happen in the middle of a city. So I was just kind of like, and winter, you can't really go anywhere. And so I was just, and then quarantine happened. So that kind of derailed the entire year. Like, we had this huge student exhibition planned, which got canceled. So once we went back home, because I think quarantine got called like on our spring break. So we went home for spring break, and then it was like, oh, you're going to have to quarantine now. Like, you can't go back. So I was like, all right, well, I just had all of this extra free time. And I was like, well, I'm going to take advantage of this. And I had already previously been writing and trying to produce my own music on Logic. So I was like, I'm going to take this opportunity to try and release a quarantine record. And I had Self-Sabotage or Liberation in my head since like 2017. Like, initially, that's what I wanted my first project to be called, but Sleepy Conscience just kind of like took its own form.
So say that again. The second one is titled what?
Self-Sabotage or Liberation.
And you kind of had that title for a while.
Yes, I wrote it on my shoes. I had like black Converse shoes, and I like wrote on it with a paint pen and white, because I just always liked that, because producing my own music was a very nerve-wracking thing for me, because I had no idea what I was doing. So I was like, by releasing my own music like this and not really knowing how people are going to react to it, or how people are going to, take on to the whole fact that I'm new at this and I don't really know what I'm doing, I could either be sabotaging myself by releasing this, or it could be kind of more of a liberating thing. And it just kind of happens to be what my mindset was on it. And that kind of helped me get the confidence to release it, because I was like, you know what, Melanie, like, this is your music. This is what it's going to be. And once you release it into the world, like, you should be proud of whatever you make, even if, people may not like it or don't think that the quality is that great. Like, you still should be behind it.
Sure.
So it's kind of me, like, telling myself that.
That's good. No, that's great, because, I mean, it's true. Like, you have to sort of, like, be your number one sort of supporter and your number one, fan. because if you don't like what you're doing, how can you possibly like anyone else to like it?
Exactly.
You're throwing the party, you're the host of the party, and either people are going to want to go to your party or they're not going to want to go to your party. And it's no disrespect to you or no disrespect to anyone else, but ultimately you have to be having fun at your own party before anyone else is even going to think about having fun. So
thank you, Kevin. He said that I did a great job. Thank you.
Right?
I actually burned him because I didn't make CDs of this one just because I mastered it myself and I really wasn't confident on my mastering skills. So I was like, I don't know if I want to like make physical copies and have like people pay for this. So I made Kevin, like I burned it old school and like wrote on it with a Sharpie.
Good,
and was like,
good.
Here, I made you a copy.
Well, I want a copy. I deserve a copy. I want one.
Of course. It won't take me that long to do it.
And I put the link up so that people can get a copy of at least the first one. So is there a way they can get a copy of the second one if they want one? Because this is one that we're going to talk about a little bit here, and I've got a video queued up, ready to go that we'll get into. But there's something sort of different and interesting about this and how it was sort of done and sort of your what sort of drove you to do this besides, of course, a pandemic and all the rest of that. You saw something that sort of sparked something in you that made you say, you know what, I'm going to try this and see how it goes. But at the end of the day, I mean, you have to support yourself. You have to be proud of what you create and understand that, today it's one thing. You might look at it and cringe in 10 years from now and go, oh my God, I can't believe I wore that in the video. I can't believe my hair looked like that back then, whatever it is. But so what, you, especially like in your case, you are an ongoing work of art. Like it's only, we all are.
It's always evolving.
Right. And everyone is. Every single person here, we all are creative in our own ways. And we all are, and in our case, and in the case of you and I and a lot of people that we know and in our circle of people, we're creative in music. And that's sort of been our thing. Whatever the reason that got us there, whatever the reason, here we are now. I came to this planet a long time before you, like double your lifetime ago. and the whole time I've been music. It's been music. And now here I am at my age and you at your age. And yet our paths have crossed in a lot of musical ways, not just from the live venues and the live recordings to Melanie Nopesetic playing and opening for Elsie Binks, to Elsie Binks being Melanie's backup band, to me recording songs for you on your stuff, to now here we are talking about music on some video cast thing that I've come together with, So it's really neat that it's ever evolving and it's constantly changing, and you have to be your number one supporter and your number one fan. It's important.
Of course, because if you're not going to do it, who else is going to do it?
Yeah, and you just kind
of I'm just so thankful that the journey has brought me here.
Yeah, right, absolutely. I agree 100%. It's you have to trust the journey. I guess I've kind of been saying that now for a while, that anyone that's sort of friends of mine on Facebook or anything, I think they probably have seen that I have kind of been trusting the journey. So it's important. So okay, let's talk about this movie.
My inspo, yes.
Right.
Okay. So
tell me what we're going to see here. It's a short little clip, but you tell me what it's all about and what we're going to see. I'll let you introduce it, and then I'll go right to the clip, and then we'll come back and talk about it a little bit. But you tell me what it is and why we're watching it.
Okay, so this is a little snippet from Kathleen Hanna's biography, The Punk Singer. And if you don't know who Kathleen Hanna is, she was the lead singer in the feminist band Bikini Kill, which was popular around the same time, like when grunge was emerging, like around the time that Nirvana was coming out and all the bands from Seattle.
Right.
And so I just took inspiration from this because there was one point after Bikini Kill when she was trying to find her voice as a solo artist, so she made a record in her bedroom. And so that was like my big inspiration for this.
And is this is a movie about the recording of that record? Is that what this is?
No, it's just about her.
This is a movie about her. So this is like a documentary.
Yeah, and it's on YouTube, and it's really like inspiring. So if you're into any of that, if you're into grunge, if you're into music history, if you're into feminism, if you're into punk rock, like it's a really interesting documentary to watch, and it's free on YouTube.
Awesome, and it's called The Punk Singer.
Yes.
All right, here it is. This is about Julie Ray. What is it? Julie.
The Julie Ruin. I think that was the name of her record.
Yeah,
Kathleen
Julie Ruin
Camp.
is the name of the record, and it's about a girl, much like yourself and many other girls who are in their bedrooms creating art.
And having this really specific relationship to my materials that was not mediated by anybody else.
She was figuring everything out for herself.
It sounded lo-fi, and on purpose lo-fi. And just really smart.
It sounds like you can hear a human being's fingers all over it. It sounds like bedroom culture. It sounds like something a girl made in her bedroom. Girls' bedrooms sometimes can be this space of real creativity. The problem is that these bedrooms are all cut off from each other. So how do you take that bedroom that you're cut off from all the other girls who are secretly in their bedroom writing secret things or making secret songs? I wanted the Julie Ruin record to sound like a girl from her bedroom made this record, but then didn't just throw it away, or wasn't just in her diary, but she took it out and shared it with people.
So that is so good. It's that was an inspiration for you to sort of want to do the Closet album, I'll call it right now.
Yes.
Self-sabotage and liberation. I love the title.
Yes. Yeah, that whole documentary just like fueled so much like inspiration after it. I was just so ready to be like, yeah, I'm going to put these songs together. And I kind of like, I watched it. And then, you know, school happened, whatever. So I had to watch it again just to get that, like, reminder.
Sure.
But it was just so inspiring. She literally bought a drum kit, I think, from a garage sale or something. And that's what the whole basis of the album was.
Love it.
And I was just like, that's so inspiring that she just, like, took it into her own hands and kind of, like, homemade this. And I like how she explained it to where she was like, you could feel a human's fingerprints all over it. I was like, I love that.
And it's true. It makes sense. Like, you know, a lot of times, you know, they take a lot of that stuff out. They consider it to be maybe noisy, or they consider it to be, you know, and sometimes that can add the character, the uniqueness that, you know, let's be honest, in the Making a Sleepy Conscience, you know, you had channeled your inner Kurt Cobain. And, you know, with all due respect to Kurt and Nirvana, Kurt wasn't exactly like a maestro on the instrument. He wasn't like a, but as a songwriter, and as the emotions came from wherever it comes from into the hands onto that instrument, we felt it, you know, and it didn't mean that he had to be, you know, the greatest guitar player or the greatest singer, but we felt the emotions of the music, you know.
Exactly. And during that time, like, that I was, we were recording Stay and Melt, that was when I went through a really big Kurt Cobain phase. So I was, like, really obsessed with him. I read his biography. I, like, dove into all of Nirvana's music. And the thing that I was drawn to about him is that he didn't have to make any of his music overly complicated. Like, a lot of his music was just normal chords, like 4 of them. And just like simple words and rhythms, but it was the emotion that you could feel still. It didn't have to be like crazy complicated. Like some people I see playing music that's just like, I'm just like, wow, like that's crazy that you can write that. But also it's kind of intimidating as like a young songwriter to be like, wow, how am I supposed to top that? How am I supposed to make something that's that good? But it's inspiring to see people like Kurt Cobain who kind of took like the simplest form of something and still made it meaningful.
Absolutely. I think that goes hand in hand with what we were talking about earlier, how it's subjective, you know?
Yeah.
Thank goodness there are people out there who like the music that they create, and there's people who like that type of music, and there's people that like this, and there's people like that, and you know, because otherwise I think we would all be driving around in the same cars, and we'd be living in the same type of house, and we'd have the you know, and it's
life wouldn't be interesting.
Yeah, it's that diversity and that you know, and especially art and music. You know, it's very open to a lot of different you know, impersonations of it and interpretations of it, I guess is what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's cool about it. So I want to get into this song I'm going to play so that they can hear one of the songs from your closet record, as I'm going to call it, or your closet album.
Yes. I like to coin the term lo-fi closet rock.
There we go. So you already know what song I'm going to play.
Yes.
So why don't you kind of tell us about it and what sort of what this is about, what the song is about, and how it came to be, and I will go right into the song.
Of course. So this is a song about me being ghosted. Which ghosted, if you're not familiar with the term, is when you're talking to somebody. So I was talking to a boy, right? And we were talking for like a month, I think, and then just out of the blue stopped talking to me, which I hate when people do that. It's stupid. So I wrote a song about it. And with this one, I wasn't trying to like make it sound radio, but I was trying to like introduce like more modern elements of production in it.
Sure.
So that's why it kind of sounds like a rap song a little bit.
Right.
And I was like, I'm gonna try and like do a verse or two. So
Nice.
so I tried to like throw in a verse there. And I got a lot of like good reception from it. So
For sure.
I was pleasantly surprised about that.
So there's nothing friendly about this ghost.
No.
There in that smile you wear so well, not sure enough to tell. I've shut my eyes before, no more. I thought that a walk across the park could save you from the dark. There's nothing I can do for you. Casper's calling out your name to me. Ease my mind and keep me company. Casper's doing what you want from me. Eyes wide open, nothing he don't see. Time to hit the play button, baby, make me feel something. I could take you where you wanna go. I could keep it airtight. Tell me if the mood's right. It's really what you wanna know. Keep me at a distance, even that consistence. Ain't nobody fucking with my flow. Creeping after midnight, living in the limelight. Why'd you have to turn into a ghost? Casper's calling out your name to me. Ease my mind and keep me company. Casper's doing what you want from me. Eyes wide open, nothing he don't see.
All right, that was Casper off of your second EP, right?
Yes.
Yes, your second EP in 2020. I'm going to call the Closet Record.
The closet record.
Awesome. All right, so that was called Casper. Great song. I
Yes.
really like that stuff a lot. It's a cool vibe. Good job. You did it all. You did the drums, you did the singing, you did the mastering, you did the whole thing.
And also, there's actually like funny stories about almost every one of those songs. Like if you go and listen to it on
what's
Spotify
that mean?
or Apple Music, I don't know. This is
Viewers?
just like a.
I'll have to remember that. Viewers. It makes me look cuter, I think, actually.
Yeah, it's like a cute cocktail. If you go and listen to it on whatever your streaming service of choice, there are a couple songs on there, and the song "Age" actually took me probably 2 years to write and finish.
Nice.
And then there's a song on there called "Don't Tell Me," which is like me making mouth sounds. And actually, like that song, I wrote it in 4th grade, and I tried to record it on my computer with a GarageBand microphone, and I uploaded it to MySpace. And then I got extremely embarrassed like immediately. So then I went on the MySpace and tried to delete it, but I forgot the username and password. So it was on there for a really long time. And then I just found out, like doing research within the past couple of months, that I guess in 2012, MySpace had this thing where a bunch of the music on it got wiped off. And I think that song was one of the ones that got wiped off. So now when I look it up, it like won't let you play it.
Right.
So I'm like really happy about it.
It doesn't break your heart that it's not there.
Yeah, it was like I was in 4th grade. I thought I could sing, but I really couldn't. So it's really cringy.
That's too funny. I love that. That's great. MySpace, that kind of makes me laugh when I think about how MySpace was sort of the start of all of this for a lot of us. Online, social sort of bands, trying to get ourselves out there. That was sort of the beginning. I think you were nobody if you didn't have a MySpace page.
Yeah, MySpace was crazy for music. I remember that's the first time I heard Katy Perry was on MySpace.
Right. Aaron says that's how we learned HTML and CSS coding and all that. Basically, pretty much is, you know.
I did some research about that for all you MySpace aficionados out there. That was actually an accident. So apparently you weren't supposed to be able to edit the HTML like that. And then once people caught on and actually liked it, they just kept it like that and didn't fix it, which was so interesting to me. I was like, wow, that was an accident.
They're like, if it's not broken, we're not going to fix it. We're going to leave it as is, right? That's interesting. That's great. Okay, so we've gotten to the point now where we have talked about your 2 records. We've looked at you when you were 4 or 5 years old, singing and playing and all the good stuff. Now we've got the second EP out. What's happening with you now? Where are we at now with Melanie and Nopesetic and Melanie's life and all the stuff going on with you? What's happening?
I am currently trying to balance. I have a job. I work in cannabis marketing. So I am a graphic designer, and I do like signs, posters, brochures, like create content for online. I do a lot of illustrative work.
Can I just, before you go any further,
Yeah.
Now's a great time to tell everyone that you have done all of Elsie Binks's album covers, correct?
Well, not all of them. I think the first 2 I didn't do. I did Electric Baby, and I did the Everything About It single.
That's right, yes.
And then I did Mean Girls.
Right, so you actually did the covers for those 3 different albums. So yeah, that's Melanie's artwork on there, by the way. Melanie's artwork, right? Let me get onto the camera that's got your... Here we go. So at the top there, you can see Melanie's artwork.
Mel Merck's artwork. You definitely should follow that. I post art, not frequently, but that's where you'll see it if I do post it. Right now, I am trying to put together a magazine. So that's where like a lot of my other artistic creative energy is going. It's called Little Sister.
And I have your link up above your head right now. So if you want to point up over your head to the corner, the other corner.
This corner?
That corner, yep, there you go.
This corner.
Up there.
Yes. Look here. That's where my magazine is, and I'm working on it right now. It's very slow progression just because I have so much going on. But I'm trying to put that together. It's going to be kind of angsty, a lot of attitude. It was inspired by another documentary about a skateboard magazine, Big Brother, which actually was the magazine that led into Jackass. So if you have Hulu, it's called Dumb, and it's a really good documentary to watch because it's just all about the magazine, and it inspired me to kind of have this like kind of girly attitude because the magazine was heavily like male influenced because it was a skateboard magazine in the 90s, and I was like, wow, it would be really cool to have a girl version of that. So that's kind of what my magazine, I'm trying to make it.
Good, awesome. Little Sister magazine.
Yes, once it comes into fruition.
Awesome. And I know you have a website also that is under construction. You're working on it.
I do.
So we'll announce that one of these days, and we'll get that out to the world, and that's exciting. Earlier, I noticed that our good friend Lance was asking about shirts. Do you have shirts available?
I am actually in the process of putting together some designs, so I will have stuff available soon, and you can find that out if you're friends with me on Facebook, and if you aren't, you can just add me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could just add
and
her.
on Instagram too. Yeah. I'll just do my cute little hand thing that I keep doing. It's involuntary.
But it works. It works. I think it sells another record every time you do that. So, or a shirt.
Yes, and I'm also working on putting together new music. I'm trying to kind of take the idea of my first EP and the second EP and combine them. So, like, I want this to be more of an extended project, but where, like, I do a little bit of the producing and then I have Kevin do a little bit of the producing depending on, like, what song it is.
Right.
I'm just trying to, like, figure everything out and string it together since I did Sleepy Conscience, I had 35 songs, and now I have like 60. So
Right. Well, that's good.
like
Though
way too
again,
many to choose from.
and again, the same problem to have. It's a good problem to have. That's for sure. And kudos to you for like continuing to write and continue to move forward. I feel like Elsie Banks is in the same boat right now. Under all of the circumstances. In our particular situation, you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier before the show. In specifically maybe in my situation, I'm okay right now that the gigs aren't happening. More importantly to me, definitely 1 bazillion% more important to me right now is being creative and writing songs and getting this next record done because, there's gigs out there to be had, but they're limited and the capacities are limited and quite frankly,
And everything's just scary right now.
yeah, I want to be able to just have people at a show, and again, you and I talked about this a little bit, where I want to be able to just everybody just brush elbows and sweat and rock out and have be like you're at a concert, not like you're looking around going, oh man, I think that guy's.
Yeah, you don't want to be worried that you're gonna get sick or anything
I think that
like
person's
that.
5.5 feet from me right now. They need to move over a half a foot. Screw that.
Bring my measuring tape.
I want to be like sweaty and dripping and everybody just rocking out and having a good time.
And that's the only way you can really enjoy it.
Right. You want to be a part of the experience. And so for me right now, the most important part is getting more of that music out there and continuing being creative, because since you were 4 years old, it's what you've done. It's what I've done. It's what we do.
Yes.
We love to share it in front of a live audience, sure. But I don't want anybody to get sick, and I also don't want to cause any problems with anyone. And also, so at the end of the day, I can wait for the shows. I can't wait for the music. So I'm not going to stop for anything on that point. So, kudos to you for keeping going and pushing forward with the music, and of course all the other stuff that you have going on. With your art and this new magazine. That's exciting.
Oh yes.
I think your job sounds really cool. It's right up your alley with creative.
Oh my god, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I just people don't really know this about me, I guess. I mean, it's less stigmatized now since it's legal, but I do smoke weed. So like being surrounded by it and being able to like help businesses that are like, helping medical patients or kind of just, making destigmatizing it, because I know there are a lot of people who have been wronged because it has been illegal.
Sure.
It's just,
and by that I assume you mean people that have been thrown in jail for possession or things like that. Yeah, yes, I agree. Yeah. I agree 100% that that's not cool. Like, come on.
Yeah, so it's just nice to see that there are positive things happening.
Well, good.
Within.
Yeah. And it's become a huge industry. Like when you think about it, there's people, like growing up in families and supporting their, their families on this industry now, and it's literally a thing. Like it's not something that we can just laugh at, and it's not something that you can say, oh, that's just the potheads. That's just the pot smokers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no, this is a legit, viable, serious business. It's not something that's. Yeah, so good. Well, that's good. And it sounds like it's something that you're enjoying, and it's also sort of giving you that creative outlet as well. So that's great.
It is, yes.
I'm glad.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, well, good.
And I just always thought that because in college, my professors really, because I went through the graphic design program, and like in graphic design, they had specifically in my program, they had a lot of emphasis on like simplicity, like a lot of text, a lot of like shapes, a lot of simple stuff, to whereas like my artwork is crazy. Like you can't just put me into a box and simplify me. So the whole time I was there, I was trying to do crazy shit. I was trying to, kind of really reinvent myself, or like find it who I was as an artist. And they kind of didn't like that when I was doing it. So I really didn't have the idea that I was going to get out of college and go straight into a job that I loved where I could do those things. So I just feel really thankful that that ended up happening for me. And I even tell the people that I work with and my boss that I'm just so happy that I could do something that I actually love to do.
That's good.
Because I didn't think I would be able to.
I can definitely speak from experience that it's not easy to balance. It's not an easy thing to find that balance of hey, listen, I'm a musician. I have this thing that I love to do that I'm super passionate about, and it's a big part of my life, and I would love to include that and you as something. But for me, it's always been, but if that's not going to work for you, then I might not be the right candidate for the job.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this has to work for me on both levels. I have to be able to have a balance of both. I have to be able to have my band, my music, and my and of course the job. What's going on with your mother right now?
She's
up to
chilling.
something.
Yeah.
Your mom is up to something. I can tell.
She's writing something.
She wants to tell you something.
Oh, she said for me. Well, I feel like it should come genuinely for me.
Why don't we have her jump on screen for a second?
Yeah, why don't you jump on screen for a second?
Yeah.
No.
Please, please,
She's
please.
saying no.
Please.
She doesn't want to. Wait, she's coming.
Oh, good.
Come on.
Yay, come in, say hi.
Oh, no, she's going to give me bunny ears. That's about it.
What is she telling you over there?
I don't know. She's doing crazy mom shit.
Moms do crazy mom shit sometimes. I have a feeling that my mom might be watching as well on Facebook. I don't know for sure. Well, our friend Jinx, he says Mel rocks. Yes, he's a new friend of mine that I gained from last week's show. He was a fan of Abandoned Souls, and now it looks like he might be a fan of Melanie Mercadante as well. So.
Well, hello.
Yes, awesome. I don't know if my mom is watching or not, but yeah, Barb says moms are the best. Yeah, she's right. Moms are the best. Okay, so on that note, I want to talk a little bit, just a tiny bit, because I'm a little bit excited about it, as you probably know.
Yes.
This song that you're working on. Speaking of, Melanie's got some new music that she's working on. Let's talk a little bit about this one particular song that I am quite familiar with, actually, that I've spent some time with. And I want to talk about it. DC Drums spent a little bit of time with this one.
Yes. So this song that I'm working on, I'm trying to, experiment with the genres that I'm doing, because I think Sleepy Conscience was more R&B type deal. I honestly don't even know what Self-Sabotage would be considered. But I'm starting to dip more into like the alternative and rock. So this song's a little more rock, and I wrote this song about my babysitting experience and how I really wasn't that great of a babysitter, and how looking back, the concept of babysitting is just really weird to me, how people trust 15-year-old girls with their children. So it's just kind of like a funny take on being a babysitter.
Yeah. It is, and it's funny. The lyrics are great. Jen just says that she loves the lyrics. They really are. They're great lyrics. They're funny, and I mean, I talked to you quite extensively after we recorded, because if I can put a shout out to myself, I was the drummer on this recording. It was great. And
you did a phenomenal job.
Thank you. We had a lot of fun working on that song that day. It was so much fun. Like it went like, whoa. Wow, to me it just took on this whole thing, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's so good, and it's so fun, and personally I'm super proud of it, like just my performance of it. The whole song is awesome, but I'm also proud of just my performance on it, because I feel like it really fits the song. Everything kind of just gelled. It's like, holy shit, we're a band, and it sounds like a song. It was great. Yeah, and so and the lyrics in it, I remember listening to them, of course, a bazillion times. After the song was recorded, I tend to do that. I go back and I listen 100 million times to it and go, ooh, that's cool. Ooh, oh. So I remember talking to you pretty extensively after we recorded that song about some video ideas and
Yes.
certain different things that hearing the lyrics and hearing the song and all the things that sort of popped into my head and my interpretation of what I was hearing and what I was thinking. And I was going to be the part of a particular role in the video, and you were a particular role in the video, and Phil
And
was
I
a
just
particular.
loved your idea. It's so funny. Like if we could execute that,
Maybe we
I
will.
think it'd be so funny.
I think we can, and I think it could happen someday. But in the meantime, the babysitter is what the song is called, or is it just babysitter?
I think it's just babysitter.
Babysitter. So, give me can you off the top of your head give me a couple of lines, choice lines out of it, or anything that might. I know it's on the
Okay,
spot.
so I straight off the bat, the first line.
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
was gonna
kid,
say.
So what do I know about watching other kids? You shouldn't have left us alone. Literally, that is just the beginning of oh shit, what is this song gonna be about?
And when you come out that way, I'm a kid, and what do I know about watching other kids? When you think about that, it's that's kind of true. It
is.
Yeah. Here, take my pride possession. Oh, and I'm gonna also give you my house. This is my most valuable expense. And I know you're 15.
My biggest assets.
It's okay. It's my kid.
Yeah.
No big deal.
You take care of them, right?
You'll be fine.
It's
You know what you're doing, right? You went through the babysitter course.
And actually, funny story. When I was babysitting those kids, the next babysitter that they had was a friend of mine, because I couldn't babysit anymore, and she told me that they were talking crap about my mac and cheese to her because when I made mac and cheese at their house, they didn't have any milk, so I had to use coffee creamer. I was just like, come on, guys. I did what I could with what I had.
I mean, did you actually try it?
No.
No. Yeah. I think that kind of says it all.
Yeah, probably.
Most chefs that don't try their own cooking, you gotta wonder.
Yeah, and I was 15, so what do I know about watching kids?
What do you know about cooking mac and cheese?
Literally, I should have put that in there.
What do I know about cooking mac and cheese?
Literally, though. It would have been great.
Oh, for sure. That's good, though. No, I love it. Okay, so we're at a crossing point right now, you and I.
Yes.
We're at a point where we're going to decide one way or the other. Mm-hmm. Do you want to play this song live for everyone that's listening right now? Or would you like me to play the recording that you made of yourself playing it live for me earlier today?
I think I'm going to try and play it actually live.
I would love if you did. I think everyone watching would love if you did. Is that right, everybody?
Yes, everybody.
They all said yes, Mel. They all want to hear it live.
Well,
that's
great
what they're
thing
saying.
that I have my guitar right here.
What a convenient, look at that. How amazing. So, okay, so a little backstory. I was in the studio with Phil. Phil played the bass and some guitar parts on this at the Sound Shop studio with our wonderful friend Kevin Wesley Williams. Dad's Mad there on Twitch. And we worked really hard one day on this song. You had already come in and had it demoed, and we spent some time with it. We tracked it, and where are we at with it now? What's happening with that song right now? Because the last I've been up to speed, we had drums, we had bass, you had tracked the lead vocals, we had some guitars. Yeah. What's happening now?
I wanted to add horns to it.
So we're still tracking.
That was the last piece of the puzzle that needs to be put in is the horns.
Awesome.
I just have been so busy trying to do all my other shit that I haven't really gotten.
Sure. Yeah.
And I always like to do those things before, so I really wanted to come up with a draft of at least a horn part, or maybe put it into the demo and see where I would want it, so that when they came in, they would kind of have some sort of direction.
Do you think that this song is going to end up on another EP?
Yes, the next one. I definitely wanted to.
So how about if it was me? I think that's a great idea. I think you should demo out maybe some horn parts or something like that. But in the meantime, you might do 4 more songs and go.
I want horns on those too.
I want horns on those too.
Yeah. See, that's why I've been waiting. Is because I started writing this next record, and I'm just I want to do everything as efficiently as I can.
Absolutely, and that's important because time is money. It is. So
yeah.
Even though art is beautiful. Art is wonderful to make, but it can become expensive, right? It can be hard to do sometimes,
Yeah, of course, especially if you want it done right.
Right, and at this point, I wanna send another shout out to your folks who have kind of been like your number one supporter since day one, right?
Oh yeah,
Um,
literally.
you know, that's really awesome. It's difficult as an artist because you have to be able to try to come up with a way to capture your art. It's not like you can go buy a canvas and you can just buy some paint and a brush and you're
Yeah.
and you're all set in your bedroom.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to
More
do.
complicated than that.
It's a
Yeah.
lot more complicated than that. So
And
you're
it takes a lot of like, because when I write my music, I insert a lot of myself into it. So it's just like exhausting sometimes in that way, but like in the best way possible.
absolutely, yeah, I agree 100%. I'm just noticing the comments on here. Everyone says something about people have horns. There's horny. Somebody's horny. There's a lot of hornies going on. Facebook.
What are you looking at?
I was on Facebook. It's probably
Oh.
my friends. It is. They're just having fun. Okay, so I'm excited. I'm excited to do this. We got this song tracked for the most part, and it's ready to go. You're gonna have a few more to come. So let's get to this like raw acoustic. I'm gonna go with the raw acoustic
Yeah, it's gonna
version.
be real raw.
Okay, well here we are. This is Melanie. She's gonna make an attempt. We weren't sure if we were gonna be able to do this based on the technology of it all. So she
So
sent
if
me.
if I glitch in the middle of it, just ignore it.
So far, so good. Actually, quite frankly, this has been a really great connection. The video's been awesome. The audio, as far as on my end anyway, has been superb. I've had no technical glitches whatsoever. All right, Mel, let's hear it.
Okay, here we go.
The Babysitter.
I'm a kid, so what do I know about watching other kids? Really should have left this alone. All I made was straight down the drain. If only I had fully developed brain. Your mom pays me to hang out with you. Now I know things about you you don't want me to. Don't hold me responsible when I can't even take care of myself. Don't hold me responsible, babe. Can't make the impossible possible. Do you hear what I am trying to say? Don't hold me responsible, baby. I'm a kid, so where do I go and who do I see when I know that the problem is me? I really hope that you think I'm cool. There's only one reason that wouldn't be true. Because your mom, she pays me to hang out with you. Now I know things about you you don't want me to. Don't hold me responsible when I can't even take care of myself. Don't hold me responsible, babe. Can't make the impossible possible. Do you hear what I am trying to say? Don't hold me responsible, baby. Can't be held accountable for the things I can't control. You just live your life with me. I treat responsibility like it's ice, and I can't keep it cold. It's running through my fingers, but you'll never know like it's ice. Like it's ice. Like it's ice.
I did way better than I thought I was going to.
Yes!
They can never say
Yes!
no. It's okay. Yes. Thank you. Also, like when you're talking about the lyrics, when I was singing that, I think my favorite lyric from that song is the ending, where it's like, I can't be held accountable for the things I can't control. You just leave your life with me. I treat responsibility like it's ice, and I can't keep it cold. And it's dripping through my fingers, but you'll never know.
Like it's ice.
I remember when I wrote that, I played it for my mom, and she was like, holy shit.
Yeah, so I have to explain one more time. My bad. I had my microphone on mute because I was like singing along, and I'm like it's eyes, and I didn't want to, interrupt it all. So I think they missed all of that doubly. Like, not only did I think I unmuted my mic and re-explained it,
Oh.
I don't even think, I think they missed all of that. So that's great. Yeah, the lyrics, I love that line. I love the, what's the one about cooking again? What are you saying about the cooking? There's something about you. Oh, no. You know what it was? I was part of my video idea. Never mind. Yeah, there was something about you cooking something, and I don't even want to go there with it. Cause
Spoil it.
yeah, it was about, yeah, I don't want to spoil it. It was about the money thing that you get paid, and I don't want to say it. Never mind. But no, really well done. Great job. I know you were super nervous about kind of doing that live. We weren't sure how it was all going to work with technology and all this stuff, but you did a great job. Well done. If I didn't have my microphone muted, it probably would have came back really well. But no, nicely done. I'm really, really happy that you did that. I have the video of it, but even better was that right there. So hold on. Stick with me for 1 second. I'm going to go to a video because I think everybody wants to see this, and everybody needs to see this one more time. Hold on.
Yay! This is the Josie and the Pussycat song that I wrote.
You wrote? Okay, 1, 2,
1,
2, 3.
I'm sorry. I just had to throw that on one more time. I love that video. And what's really cool is we got to have you like here playing like live.
Yeah.
At the same time, and we just saw that video of you like, a few years ago.
Yeah, right? Crazy.
It's great. Well, this has been an awesome show, and I really hope that everyone has had fun. It's amazing how fast it can become 2 hours. Like, it's been literally an hour and 55 minutes we've been on, and it's been awesome the whole time. I've had a lot of fun, and I really think that everyone has had a great time, and we've all gotten to know Melanie Mercadante from Nopesetic a little bit more. And I'm sure, just like me and everyone else I know, they've just fallen in love with you just a little bit more because you're adorable and we love your music and you do such a great job. And I love that you pursue it constantly, and it's nice to see someone, you don't have a band, you don't have the support of people around you. You've just been doing this all on your own, and it's great. It says a lot to,
Thank you.
The integrity of your art, for one.
Yeah.
And it says a lot to, your unique individuality, where you are just doing your own thing and you like it or you don't, whatever. This is me and this is what I do. So
Yes,
kudos to you for
exactly.
that, and keep it up because
Thank you.
you're doing really well, and I've had a wonderful time, and I love being a part of your music, and I love making music with you. It's so much
Yes,
fun.
I love having you be a part of my music. I'm so
Uh,
glad we met, Darren.
Me too. I really am. And your mom is such a sweetheart. She is such a great supporter, and I love that she comes to the shows and she's as involved as she can possibly be.
Yes.
That's great support, and it means a lot. And I hope you all tonight who were watching, I hope you all had a lot of fun, and I hope you can get out and get some of Melanie's music wherever you can find it.
And
And
also, just a side note, I wanted to, give a little shout out to the Elsie Binks fam too, and
Aw,
Kevin, because
yeah.
you guys have all been a big part of my journey, and I love working with everybody.
Aw, thanks, Mel. It means a
And
lot to us.
I miss playing live with you
Yeah,
guys.
right. I
But
know.
one day.
I miss the Moose McGregor's a little small.
R.I.P.
It was like a small time acoustic gig, and you were there by yourself. What I remember, Tom used to talk about his favorite cover that you would play. Do you know what it
Yeah.
is?
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah, you would do a cover. Why don't you play
Yes.
that right now? Why don't you pick that up and play that song for us right now? For Tom.
I can do that.
Yeah,
for
I want to
sure.
do this for Tom. We're going to send this one out to my buddy Tom, who I know isn't watching, but Tom also told me that he sent me a message the other day, and he told me that he thinks that I should broadcast this over just like podcast land too.
Ooh,
So,
podcast
Not
land.
not just video land here, but he says you should throw this show on Podcastville. So that might happen one of these days. I might figure that out and broadcast that over. But in case he is listening, because he said he wants to listen, but he can't always listen at work because of Wi-Fi issues and whatnot, connectivity and all the things. But my buddy Tom Harper, if he's listening right now, I'm gonna ask Melanie to play this song for him in memory of our Moose McGregor gigs that we've done many of
course.
together. And
We'll light our lighters.
right, and this was his favorite cover that you did. So let us have it, Mel. It Smells Like Teen Spirit from Nirvana.
All right, here we go.
Thank you.
Load up on guns, bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Don't know, I know a dirty word. Hello, 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 how? Hello, 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 how? Hello, 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 how? Hello, hello, hello. With the lights out, it's as dangerous. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. I'm a lotto and albino, a mosquito, my libido. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm worse than what I do best, and for this gift I feel blessed. A little room has always been and always will until the end. Hello, 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 how? Hello, 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 how? Hello, 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 how? Hello, hello, hello. With the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. I'm a lotto mosquito, my libido. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I forget just why I taste. Oh yeah, I guess it makes me smile. I found it hard. It's hard to find the well at my never mind. Hello, 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 how? Hello, 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 how? Hello, 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 how? Hello, hello, hello. With the lights out, it's so dangerous. Here we are now, entertainers. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertainers. I'm a lotto and albino mosquito, my libido. Yeah, 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 I think I ended on the wrong note. Thank you. Oh yeah. Welcome. Thank you for having me. Definitely. I'm gonna Vogue a little bit. Yes, it was a pleasure. I really enjoyed talking to you. You know, I never talk about myself, so it was a nice change of pace.
Right? Then I guess I see I've muted my microphone again. You know why? Because I'm like singing along with you, and I'm like, and then I get back to I'm like, yay, Belle! And then, oh shoot, my microphone's not on. But that's okay. Anyway,
It's just the moment.
it's a work in progress. It's getting better all the time. So. Yes. Melanie Mercadante, Nopesetic, thank you so much for being here. A big round of applause for you. Did you guys have fun? They had fun. They said so. I heard them. So, thank you, Mel. I'm going to have you on the show again one of these days, and I look forward to the future music and all the good stuff coming from you. Keep it up, and keep us in the loop of what's happening. I look forward to all of it. So, congratulations on all this stuff, and good luck in your new job. That's exciting.
Thank you.
And all of your new music. And tell us one more time what we need to do in order to get music from you.
I am on all streaming platforms, so whatever your platform of choice, just, look up Nopesetic, Nopesetic. It's like copacetic, but with an N. And it's not Nopesetic. I get that a lot.
I know. You know what?
Like, ew.
give us the explanation as to how you came up with the name, because that might help people understand a little bit better too.
Okay, so in the process of doing Sleepy Conscience, I didn't have a name for myself. I didn't want to go by Melanie because I was like, if this thing ever does blow up and I do ever get some sort of notoriety, I would rather not have my legal name attached to it. So I went into a dictionary. And I found words that I liked, and I did a whole list and then looked all of them up, and they all were taken, and I was like, crap, now what do I do? So we go every year to Frankenmuth, and we go with some of our family friends, and one of my family friends was saying copacetic the whole time. Like, she was just like, that was her new word. She was like, oh, it's copacetic. So then when I sat down later and I was like thinking about words, I was like, copacetic's a cool word. So I was thinking of copacetic, and then I was like, that's already taken. So how can I take the etic part of it, but make it my own? So I was like, I'm just going to change the first letter. So then I kind of made my own word, and luckily it wasn't taken on Instagram. It wasn't a website. It just was completely original and my own. And I was like, I think I done did something there.
Right? Yeah, and it's a very clever name. And I think when you put the spin on it of, it's like copacetic, but the opposite.
Like, yeah, literally the opposite.
Yeah, and it's great. So I think that's great that you came up with a clever, original name. And I love hearing the stories of how these things come to be. Like, because it's like some random trip to Frankenmuth turns out to be your name of your musical group, like basically, like how you put your music out to the world.
Things happen like that.
Yeah, it's great. So, well, that's awesome. I think everyone had a lot of fun. I think we've got to get to know Nopesetic and Melanie a lot more tonight, and it was great, and we appreciate it, and we look forward to all kinds more. And when you get your merchandise and all your stuff and your website and anything else up and running, be sure to pass it along, and I will share as I can, and we'll get you back on for another show as soon as possible.
Yes.
So excited to have you on. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mel. It was a pleasure, and we had a lot of fun, and I hope to see you again soon. You take care.
Yes, you too, Darren.
All right. Thanks, Mel. Melanie Mercadante tonight. Next week. My buddy Ray Solomon will be here from the band Age of Wolves. I look forward to a great show with him as well. Sunday night at 7, Bands Across the Water. Thank you to Melanie Mercadante for being here from Nopesetic. I hope you guys had a good time with me tonight. And I look forward to doing this again next week, 7 p.m. Sunday night, Age of Wolves, Ray Solomon. Tune in, and I'm going to try to get my cat cam. I'm a little bit upset about the cat cam. I'm working on the cat cam. I'm going to get it up and running one of these days. As soon as I can, I'm going to have it, I promise. It's all about the Wi-Fi. Exactly, Aaron. You got it. Anyway, next week, my buddy Ray Solomon from Age of Wolves will be here. Please tune in Sunday at 7. Bands Across the Water. Peace out. Love you guys.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh yeah!